Morning Stampers, I'm Meg from Loven Stamps, and this is Maker Mornings with Meg Friday. I know, always so exciting, right? So I don't know if you guys have started to feel like fall just a little bit. Facebook is filled with, at least my feed is filled with pictures of people's kids getting ready for back to school and their first day of school shots. And when that time of year starts to roll around, I start to feel like it's kind of autumn. And so my gaze has turned in the holiday mini catalog to fall-like things. And the most beautiful paper maybe ever, I don't know, you guys will have to tell me what you think, arrived in a box from Stampin Up earlier this week, and I couldn't wait to show it to you. So it was a little late to the game, at least in the US. You couldn't order it until just a little later than the rest of everything else. But here it is, so get your drum roll ready. It is the Blackberry Beauty Designer Series paper. Oh, right? Like, isn't that amazingly beautiful? Morning, guys. Hey, Tanya and Jan and Sue and Teresa and everybody, Patty. It's good to see you guys. So here it is. Here is the paper. I'm dropping little pieces of it. Oops, that's good. This is the one we're going to use. This one here. So you're going to see it more. But I love the colors. Blackberry Bliss is the sort of featured color for this paper. And it is present in lots of these. The coordinating colors are, let us see, Blackberry Bliss Cinnamon Cider, Early Espresso Polished Pink, and Rich Razzleberry. So you have lots of great fall tones to share with it. And I'm gonna add in something that isn't part of this suite, but is gorgeous, and you might have missed it. It is the Golden Rose, Gold and Rose Gold metallic specialty paper from the annual catalog. Oh, Sue says I'm breaking up. Sorry, Sue. I might be, well, hopefully it'll get straightened out. So, anyway, yes, it's gorgeous. Teresa says she loves it. And so I'm going to show you guys a card today with this paper and combining some of the different pieces from this suite for great, gorgeous effects. So I'm going to leave this here on my paper and I'm going to twist you guys down this direction. So it's actually not cool here yet, but it's starting to feel at least a little more like fall. Like, oh, isn't this paper gorgeous? Okay. So I'm gonna flip you guys on over here. There we go. And then we're going to work on our card with this. So when I was looking through this, the paper that I picked to begin with was this one here, because I wanted to use with this, not necessarily the Beauty of Tomorrow stamp set, which is gorgeous, but I really wanted to use the Detailed Pumpkins dies and the Pretty Pumpkin stamp set. So we're gonna combine with this one. And when I first thought of this, I'm like, well, I don't really like gather together is kind of a great Thanksgiving kind of thing, or a wish for people. But I don't use that greeting super often, but I really like this So Thankful for You. There's lots of occasions that you could use that. And with all the pumpkins and the pieces that, if friends were pumpkins, I'd pick you as kind of a fun addition. Plus, this one has a gorgeous set of dies that match it. So here's the, here's that. And it probably would work best to just show you the dies actually, because this one has a lot of accessory dies, like the ones that don't necessarily match the stamp set, but are designed to go along with them. So this particular one here is absolutely one of my favorites. And then there are lots of little leaves, and then this one here. So not only are there the ones that match the images, but also these accessory dies, and this is what we're going to use today. So, all right, I hate to put this paper away because it's so absolutely beautiful, but let us clear the board. All right, and bring back in these pieces here and get you guys set up. And I saw a great tip the other day. I'm gonna just go like this and tape our paper in place so that I'm not all sliding all over the place for you guys. Okay, here we go. So bringing these pieces together, I actually took inspiration. I know sometimes people really love to see where my inspiration comes from. I took inspiration from the catalog. This book is definitely great for all kinds of ideas, like how to make with your pieces. So I liked this card layout here and decided to start with this kind of as an idea. So I have my Blackberry Bliss background, although honestly this looks like Rich Razzleberry now that I'm looking at it. And so my Rich Razzleberry background, and then I have this piece of the designer series paper that is cut to layer inside this. And I gave you guys a tip the other day for how to kind of measure these things, and I'll just review it because if you don't like to you know, do hard math, this is, don't tell the kids you're back in school, but this is a good tip for you. So I know that the front of a card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, right? Okay, so 5 1/2 here and 4 1/4. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do subtraction from that. So instead of being 4 1/4 out here, I'm going to subtract, let's see, 1/2 inch and 1/8 and cut this one dimension. Then to find the other dimension, I'm going to go out here and say, okay, this would, move it down here, be 5 1/2 normally, but I'm gonna take that 1/2 inch and 1/8 inch and trim that off. And so that's how, it's so easy to get a card layer size that fits just exactly with a perfect mat around the front of your card front, okay? So happy Friday, Kelly, and hugs to you too, Jenny. Okay, so this is gonna be our base, and then I thought, you know what? A little strip would be nice. It's always good to give like our card a baseline of some kind. And so what about using a narrow strip like this that would kind of go across here? Here's a longer one. Okay, and this is actually just the scrap from the edge piece of that same designer series paper. All right, okay, we're moving along, and I want this to go a little outside the edge there. So that it really shows off what our, you know, our layers and pieces and so forth. And then I wanted to bring in this amazingly gorgeous die, which is really why I ordered this whole Pretty Pumpkins bundle in the first place. I love this die. So lots of different possibilities for using it. And I decided that I wanted to use a gold that was just a little bit subtle, more subtle. So actually the rose gold is really pretty with this if you wanted to go with, especially with one of the papers that has more pink in it. So let's see, like this one, you can see that this rose gold paper is an absolutely gorgeous match. This one has a little more pink. I don't know, I guess it's a contrast there. But depending on which paper you use, these rose gold ones are great. But the gold here is the one that I love with this. And this paper is in the regular catalog. So it's it came out this summer. And so I decided to go ahead and take this and die cut one of these detailed pumpkins. All right, so when you die cut it, ta-da, this is what you get. If you want to, the die for this paper and this detailed die are a little bit of a trickier combination than usual. It does cut absolutely cleanly, but because of the plasticky part on both the front and back of this paper, I found it did take a little longer to pull out all the pieces, but it did die cut 100%. So if you want to have this for a project, definitely it's a great die set, but I kind of like the solid version. So we're gonna use this one for our project. I also tried cutting the paper upside down to see what that would do. And honestly, that's really pretty too. It just gave a little different effect. So here are those two possibilities next to each other. This is the one that I die cut with the die on the back side. So I kind of like this one, but just so you know, I'll do the testing. You guys decide which one you like. Okay, so I'm gonna use this one here for our card. And then I wanted to bring in some others of the pumpkins, like this one here. And so I'll set this aside and bring in my pumpkin stamp. So here it is. And I decided to stick with cinnamon cider. I'll show you, I tried a couple other combinations for this and I'll show you those too. But let's grab our cinnamon cider here and go ahead and stamp. So Just gonna stamp this up here, add this to our die so it cuts right here with this die and gives us, through the magic of television, this piece here with these triple pumpkins. So this one I am going to place on our card kind of here, okay? And now I kind of noticed that really I've covered up most of this strip, so yoink. I'm just gonna go with a smaller one. No one needs to know that it didn't actually reach across there. It kind of gives the impression of it, and I can save this for the inside of our card, which I think you guys are gonna like. I have a different inside to share with you. Okay, so I thought I wanted to show you these others. I thought, you know what, this paper is really pretty with the yellows. So there's kind of what the bumblebee looked like, and it really brings out a little bit lighter of the gold. And I did some watercoloring on that. And then here was one that I did on Very Vanilla, and that's really pretty too. It definitely pops a little bit more than the cinnamon cider, so you can kind of do that. And I basically stamped it and then just used my water painters to add a little bit of cinnamon cider coloring to the pumpkins. So, all right, but I think we're gonna go with this one. Gosh, it looks kind of dark after the other, but it's gonna get lighter, so hang in there. Okay. So what else to add here? Jan says, peel off the plasticky paper before die cutting. That's a good question. I guess you could give it a try. Is this the one? Somebody said one of the papers was actually self-adhesive, and I hadn't figured that out yet. I don't think it's this one though. Okay, well, it's possible. Oh. Yeah, you can actually. Okay, so Gian had a beautiful, brilliant idea. So you could try die cutting it without the plasticky paper on the back, and then this might be even easier to achieve. So you know it's possible, you know it would work, and that's a great idea. I'll have to try that. And Jenny says something that, oh yeah, the rose gold is really pretty. Okay, so good suggestions. That's what I love about our time stamping together. We come up with great ideas. All right, so now I wanted to add in some of this gold shimmer ribbon. This is from the same suite as Blackberry Beauty, so it's part of that like suite collection. And I thought it would be pretty to kind of put across here to go with our greeting, which we're gonna be adding here. So let's kind of put that across there as an idea. And it really brings out the gold in the background here and the gold in our pumpkins. So lots of good possibilities there. And then we need our greeting. So I really liked this thing they did here in the background. So on the card that we took our inspiration from, they have this scripty background here. And so I looked at the greetings from, they used the Beauty of Tomorrow set, but I looked at the greetings in our set and I liked this scripty one and this. And so I decided to go with this one here. To add that interest in the background. So I'm gonna set this aside and I'm gonna bring in my So Thankful for You and my Blackberry Bliss and go ahead and start adding some of these. Now, when you're doing this, you wanna make sure, watch it won't be straight, but you wanna make sure that your greetings are varied so that you see different elements of it. No one's gonna be able to read any of this on the side. So we just want the edge pieces here to have kind of a variety of the loopiness so that people can kind of get that loopy effect and maybe see like a word here or there. All right, and then maybe a little bit there. Okay, so then we're gonna take this and put it back on here, and you can see how that little bit of extra just kind of ties the layers together and makes it a little bit more together, I guess, a little bit more grouped. So let's go ahead and start putting some of these pieces together before we get to our greetings. So I'm gonna turn this over to the back and I'm going to use our Stampin' Dimensionals, and I haven't figured out where my, haven't found my regular ones. So I'm just gonna go again with the black ones here. So these are terrific for the designer series paper. It's a little bit lighter. And so I find that I use a little bit more in dimensional use to support the layer than I would if it was just a cardstock layer. Pepper, go lay down. I need to go outside right now. All right. Hey, I can't believe that worked. Watch, it didn't. All right, and then I'm gonna take my multi-purpose liquid glue and pop some of this on the back here. Remember, this glue doesn't take, or takes a little to dry, so I'm gonna put a block over it. And then let's go ahead and pop our greeting on, or our sticky outy layer here on, which remember we're gonna cover up. And then we can pop our pumpkins on. So we'll pop a couple more dimensionals on the back of them. All right. Let's see, one more, I think. One more, just for fun. Okay, and this is probably pretty well stuck down by now. So remember, we're gonna kind of cover up the fact that this paper doesn't go all the way across. All right, so we're gonna bring our gold back in here, and let's go ahead and pop some glue on the back of it. Let's see, and I think our greeting is gonna cover up most of this, so. Or at least the gluey parts, okay? I'm gonna try not to push down on it because any glue that's coming through to the front I don't really want on my hands. All right, so what to do with this greeting? And then of course those extra strips that I promised you are gonna go inside our card. So I have Very Vanilla here, which is a great color for matching with the sort of fall tones and earthy tones and so forth. And I have this strip here of Very Vanilla now stamped with our greeting. So if friends are pumpkins, I'd pick you. But here's my problem. This is, because of the way the greeting is and the flourishes, it's very tall and kind of big, and it covers up more than I want to of our pieces. So instead, let's go ahead and do a little fussy cutting. So I've talked about fussy cutting before. You guys know that you're going to turn the paper with your non-scissor hand, and you're going to just squeeze the scissors in one straight line with your scissor hand. Okay, so I'm using this hand to move the paper. I'm not like trying to turn my scissors to do my cutting. And that will help you to get a long continuous line of cutting without a lot of jigs and jags in it. So, okay, so there we have our greeting, which now is much more subtle and much more in line with the rest of our card. So I think I'm gonna pop a little bit of dimensional here. I'll use a mini Stampin' Dimensional on this end because I want this end to pop up. And then I think I'm gonna make this end be gluey with our multi-purpose liquid glue so that end stays stuck down. So let's go ahead, and it would help if I peeled the backing off the dimensional. Go ahead and pop this down here. All right. Okay, apparently it didn't work. She's not content to stay inside. Okay, so here I'm gonna put a block on because like I said, it takes a second for that to dry. And grab some vanilla paper because I want to go ahead and cut a piece for the inside of my card. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that 4 by 5 1/4, just sort of our standard inside card mat. And as I was looking at the stamp set, I thought, okay, you know, this stamp here is gorgeous. I cannot say how much I love it. It's like this one and this one. These are my two favorite parts of these sets. Although the pumpkins are really pretty too. They're a good standard pumpkin. So I wanted to not miss out on the chance to use this stamp. And so I've got this one all mounted up, and we're gonna use this inside our card. There's an odd like color block on here, so we'll get this clean. All right, so let's see. Often I like to go ahead and put a strip of paper, not 2 strips, but a strip of paper all the way across the bottom of our card, and have that really be just an extra element. And so for this one, I thought, why don't we split this and go ahead and put our pumpkin kind of here on the side. So maybe on this side, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and stamp him in cinnamon cider, but it's gonna take up a lot of space in our card. So if you wanna cut down on the amount of writing you have to do in your card, then just go ahead and stamp this. If you wanna leave yourself a little more flexibility because you might have a lot of things to say, then the solution is to stamp off. So I'm actually gonna stamp off once, twice, and then use my 3rd stamp to go ahead and put this inside our card. And I mean, hello, isn't that image just amazing? I adore it. So now do I have pieces that are long enough here? No, so I'll have to cut some more. That's the great thing about your scraps. When you have them handy, you can cut more pieces. Let's see. But I don't see my, let's see. There, is that long enough? Yep. Okay, so I'll bring my trimmer in and cut myself a piece here of this paper. And I'm just gonna cut a narrow strip. It's gonna be longer than I need, but that's fine because I can split it to the left and right of our pumpkin. So we've got this piece that's gonna go here, and I'm gonna trim this, so about there, I think. And then if it's long enough, oh yeah, perfect. We've got our paper to go on the other side that will fit like this. So this is kind of a fun way to use your papers to decorate the inside of a card, but also have your stamp and paper too, I guess, your cake and eat it too. So let's go ahead and pop this on here. I love using the multi-purpose liquid glue for this because it gives me the chance to reposition still if I need to. Okay, and then this part, I'm just gonna finish off by flipping it over and trimming it there. All right, we still need our greeting on the inside, so finally people can read this pretty greeting that we've added. And so I'm gonna pop it up, just pop it in the center. There we go. Okay, so we have "So thankful for you," and then our inside of our card. And sometimes I use the multi-purpose liquid glue just for layers of cards too. So it's great stuff. I don't glob it on. It doesn't take a lot. I always say if you can see it, it is enough. Because you don't want to glob it on so that it makes your cardstock buckle, but just a little bit will work great. Always smush from the back side so that you don't smear your ink in case there's any little tiny bit of wetness there. And then there is our card. So Tanya says she really likes the fussy cutting on the sentiment. Yeah, it really does kind of make a difference. And then you know what? I didn't put this on my picture. So in the description for the video, there is a link to supplies, which includes everything except this that I'm gonna add now because I didn't think about including them before, but I can't resist. I feel like it just needs the brushed metallic adhesive dots. And so I'm gonna snag my take your pick tool, and remember, open your packages from the side so it's easy to get out the things you want. Let's move some of this out of the way. And then we're gonna add some of these here because they're gorgeous and they match. Let's see. And then how about a bigger one down here? There we go, kind of like that. All right, yeah, perfect accent. Just an extra little tiny bit and one more sort of gold extra element to add. Okay, so the supply list is in the video description if there are things here that you need to add to your stamping collection. This Blackberry Beauty paper is beautiful and goes so well with the gold accents. And for fall, gold is really my happy go-to. So, all right. So I am also I got my fall colored shirt on today. I say, I just felt like fall when I got up to make cards this morning. So looking forward to a great weekend. I will see some of you at Vacation Stamping School, which is our demonstrator training event that we have every year. So 100 and some demonstrators getting together tomorrow to share some ideas and stuff. If you are not a demonstrator and you're interested, don't forget that this is the best time to go ahead and sign up, because during celebration, you get not only the extra $26 with your kit, because you pick out $125 and you pay only $99, but you also during celebration get a bundle of your choice. And so if you're interested in learning, wait, Meg, a bundle? Yes, a stamp and die bundle or a stamp and punch bundle. There's a set of about 12 of them, and I think, I do have a picture. Here they are, and there are 12 of them. So you can pick one of these for free with your starter kit. So it's a really, really, really good deal. Plus you get a discount on your own stuff. This is a great time to take advantage of this and be thinking about fun projects for fall. So you can learn more on my website, Loven Stamps, under Join My Team, lovenstamps.com/join my team, join-my-team. and let me know if you have any questions, but you can go ahead and do that. So if you're thinking like, oh my gosh, I love everything in this autumn beauty card that Meg made this morning, you could pick the things in here in your demonstrator starter kit and then add some extra things for free. So otherwise, remember that it is celebration. So for each $50 that you order, you get a free item from this mini catalog, which includes lots of the fun penguin choices, that Penguin Playmates paper and so forth, that I'm featuring this month. So lots of good things during celebration, whether you want a little, place an order, you want it all, become a demonstrator, I'm happy to answer your questions. So, all right guys, have a fabulous Friday and enjoy your weekend. Mine will be filled with stamping, which I am super excited about. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Monday. I'll have lots of great ideas to share. So happy stamping and have a great weekend.